Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here, bringing you more Running Red. Last time, we got the mob tower set up to provide us with quite a bit more power in the form of life essence, as well as made sure that our second altar was ready to go. Well, this time I find myself needing ritual stones to get this altar finished off, and then to progress a little bit further than that, I'm going to need some more rituals, as well as to put the output of this system to good use. So far, got my Master's Blood Orb in there sucking up life essence for me. I'm at 237,000 LP. I did manage to mistakenly run out of LP, and then accidentally killed myself a little. As you can see, I died one more time to Other Unknown, bringing my total deaths to 4 so far. The way that happened, I was all out of LP, and I was using the lava sigil to create lava to put into the igneous extruder and get obsidian, so that I could make the ritual stones. Well, I never want that to happen again, so we're going to make a better way to get our ritual stones. By the way, I was very happy to learn that the system up here, the speed at which it generates LP is faster than it can convert stone into slates or regular slates into reinforced slates. So you'll be pretty in a pretty good place if you, well, here, let me demonstrate that for you. Where's my divination sigil? As you can see, we are at about 5,000. If I take, we'll just grab 8 stone to do it with, so that it happens nice and quick. If I toss 8 stone in there, you can see it starts to use the power, but it's refilling faster than it can use it. Now, the first bit of slates, I believe, are just 1,000 apiece. Yes, so that won't take very long at all for that to click over to slates. It should only be about 8,000. Come on, you've gone through a couple of hundred a few times now. Anyway, we'll give this a second. And then the reinforced slates, those take 2,000 LP apiece for a total of 16,000 off of the blank slates. Give this just a moment. There we go. Now it clicks over, and you can see it starts working again, but still I am refilling faster than it is draining. This does not work for the... where'd they go? The imbued slates, or the demonic slates. Those take too much LP, but maybe when we have a higher level altar it'll work. Or maybe you just have to make these in smaller doses. I mean, it only takes 5,000 LP to make it a imbued slate, so I should be able to do 2 reinforced slates into 2 imbued slates without any trouble whatsoever. In any case, let's build that better obsidian producer. Now, it's not going to be perfect. I could, I think, with the tech that's in this pack, make something a lot more automated than what I'm doing, but it's not really necessary to do that. Wait, does the Master Ritual Stone require the Master Blood Orb? That would be something. It requires the Magician's Blood Orb. Where did I leave my Magician's Blood Orb anyway? I know I have one. I just am not entirely certain where it is. There's the Master. There's the Weak. Apprentice is in the box. Oop, there's my reinforced slates, I believe. Yep, as you can see, it is draining the altar faster than it is refilling at this point. And I highly doubt that it's going to get to the 40,000 LP needed to be able to actually account for those. Now, mind you, this is also while draining the altar at 20 LP a tick into this portable tank. But if I turn that off, it doesn't actually allow it to refill. It's still draining a little bit faster than it can charge. So I'm going to let this run all the way out and see if maybe it can handle 8 reinforced slates. It's possible, I'm not certain. Yeah, and I'm going to keep looking for that blood orb. Because I know I have a Magician's Blood Orb. Unless I managed to lose that when I died one time. It could have fallen off the side when I broke one of the gravestones. That's an option. It would seem odd if that's the case, but it's not impossible. But many things in this world are possible. Yeah, The Magician's Blood Orb seems to have ceased to exist. Okay. Well, it's not hard to make a new one. It's just a block of gold. So let's get that going. Grab our gold ingots. And because it's still, it does take 25,000 LP, but I think the altar will be able to handle that. Let's go find out. Okay, yeah, this thing ran out. Oh, but it did manage to make the 8 imbued slates. So you can do slates at least 8 at a time with the lever off to make your imbued slates. Alright, so we need to wait for that blood altar to fill back up, which is going to mean some time waiting for monsters to spawn and get killed. Because I think this might be able to manage it if it is full before I start. You are currently off. Let's... Yeah, let's see if we can fill this from the tanks as we do this, and hopefully that'll work out. Put that lava sigil away before I accidentally burn myself to death. We'll be finding out very soon, as that number is ticking down relatively quickly. But it is also getting boosted back up. It's almost holding a bit of an equilibrium. And then a handful of monsters die, and the new ones need to fall down into range. Oh, there we go! Fantastic. Alright. So if we put that off, we'll set these two back to accepting. Yeah, it used up a good bit of life essence from the tank, so that helps some. Later on, we'll be able to store much larger quantities of life essence, and I might even get some dislocation ruins onto this altar eventually, because I've got my speed runes on here. This is where I'm going to be doing my actual work. Getting, you know, even 8 speed ruins onto it won't be tough when it's at the tier 5 of altar. Alright, well now that I've got another Magician's Blood Orb bound to me, we're going to get that Master Ritual Stone made. There we go. And we're going to use the Master Ritual Stone down here on the bottom with the Serenade of the Nether Ritual. And that's just 4 ritual stones in that little pattern right like that. It's a very cheap ritual. Yeah, that's fine. And we're going to then activate that ritual. Like so. And that will always keep a block of lava stocked up over top of the ritual stone. Which is why I've built this little area in here. Now, I can simply grab my bucket. I check my divination sigil. I can see I'm holding at... Well, I'm losing LP slowly to the well of suffering, but I'm at 249,500 LP right now. I grab 1 bucket of lava, and I'm at 248,900 LP. So it uses the same about 500 LP that the lava sigil does. At least I believe the lava sigil is about 500. Let's double check. That was an air sigil, not a divination sigil. 2486 becomes 2476. So that's actually more efficient than the lava sigil. You are producing the same amount of lava for half the cost. And more importantly, you can just fill up all of your buckets quite that simply. And then you can dump those buckets straight into the tank, and it all goes a lot faster than it does. I've got 1 more bucket. I swear I do. I had 9 when I started, didn't I? Did I accidentally throw one? Something strange happened? Something strange probably happened. That's okay. In any case. There we go. Quite that simple. Now, if you have any way to pick up fluids from the world, you can set that up to grab this block of lava, and it will still continue refreshing itself. However, with the amount of obsidian that I'm going to need, that's not super necessary. One thing you're going to want to do, though, is make sure you've got your blood orb in your altar while you're doing this. Because I'm now down to 235,000. I've dropped down 14,000 LP already. And that's not a big deal right now, but eventually I'm going to run out. And at that point, I'm going to start suffering pretty severe effects, mostly nausea. And I hate nausea. It's the worst debuff in this game. So I'm going to keep that blood orb in there and keep the system topped up. Once it hits 1,000,000 LP, I believe it will stop filling through this particular blood orb. But it's doing a pretty good job of keeping me in a good spot for right now. And the whole purpose of all of this is to get myself the lava that I need to make the obsidian, to make the ritual stones, to be able to put the Well of Suffering on the other side. So now that I have all of that, you guys have seen me create ritual stones and build the Well of Suffering and do all of that stuff. So I'm going to cut the camera here for now. I will come back once I have the Well of Suffering set up over there. So I'm draining LP into both our altars at the same time, and I'll show you what I plan to do with the LP that I'm getting in this altar. Back in a bit, folks. Alrighty, I got my Well of Suffering all set up over here, though it's not active quite yet because it's just not time yet. Let us get going over here. We've got some things to do. For one, I want more crafting capabilities. This means I need the induction smelter from thermal expansion, which uses Invar copper, machine frame, bucket, and redstone reception coil, all of which you should know how to get at this point in time if you've been following along. We're going to attach that to our power conduit, and this poor guy right here can't quite keep up, but that's the whole point. We're going to need that redstone or induction smelter to be able to make something better. Specifically, we need gold and silver. Silver ingots can be had by putting an iron bar into a blood altar with 10,000 LP. Huh, those are a little more rare than I expected them to be. Yep, looks like there is no other option. All right, so we know it's going to take 10,000 LP. We know that the altar can handle a couple of that at a time. Let's just go toss 3 in and see what happens. As you can see, our blood orb has maxed out at just about 1,000,000 LP. So we're going to toss that in there, and we're going to keep an eye on things here, see how fast it goes. Oh yeah, it can keep up with iron no problem. It doesn't drain that quickly. And that is because if you take a look at the recipe, you can see that it drains at a rate of 5 LP per tick. And these speed ruins, they increase that, but not an unbearable amount. If I take a look at my slates, because these are what I'm using to kind of calibrate, I know that the reinforced slate it can handle indefinitely. That also moves at 5 LP per tick. And the imbued slates, those I was able to do 8, that use 15 LP per tick. So somewhere between 5 and 15 is where we hit the point that I can no longer actually sustain it. So, as we know that we can handle a good bit, I'm actually going to grab 29 more so that I have a solid half stack of silver waiting for me. And we'll get that in there. We'll give that the time that it needs to process. In the meantime, we have more machines to make. Specifically, I already have an igneous extruder. Now I need a magma crucible. If I take a look at what the magma crucible requires, I believe that this guy needs nether brick. Yes, it does. Well, I've got some nether brick over here from when I took my trip to the nether. Hanging out in here. Gonna need 2 of those. No problem. And we can get this rolling now. I'm going to need some more gold, some more iron. I have enough redstone for the moment. It does need a reception coil, but just the one. And we're going to need another machine frame. Get this cleared out. And then we need a leadstone energy cell frame. This one I'm going to need more redstone for, but I have just enough now at the moment to handle it. No problem. We're also going to need more lead for this. However, I've come prepared for that particular eventuality. Get my lapis and my glowstone in here. Take my aluminium over here. As you can see, I've set up the cyclic assembler to be able to make me lead ingots with an ingot of iron and... Oh, hey, there's my magician's blood orb. Well, now I have a second one. My ingot of iron, my ingot of aluminium, and my water bucket. If I just toss in a stack of iron and a stack of aluminium, I'll end up eventually with a stack of lead. about as fast as that aqueous accumulator can put the water in. And I could totally empty my portable tank into it as well, which will help things move even faster. Fantastic. The portable tank is here on the system purely to provide a reservoir for this exact sort of operation, where I'm using water faster than the aqueous accumulator can provide it, and then I just swap it back to input mode, and it will fill back up over time as the aqueous accumulator has extra water to give. So now I can make my leadstone energy cell frame, grab that, and that should be everything I need. Oh, I'm missing 2 copper, no problem. Fantastic, 1 magma crucible, go. We can come over here and stick this on this side. At this point though, I'm entirely out of power in my leadstone energy cell, but that's not a problem because I have my resonant portable tank here full of life essence waiting for me. However, I'm going to upgrade my leadstone energy conduits and my leadstone energy cell into their hardened varieties before I do that. So if I take a look at the hardened energy cell, this just requires 4 invar and a leadstone energy cell, which my invar is in here, so it's not noticing. There we go. Oh, this is a block, and it doesn't like to move blocks around like that. So now I have my hardened energy cell, and it'll have all of the same configurations that the leadstone energy cell did, but I can increase this to 400 per tick, which will be very, very useful. So we're going to get that started producing some power for me. As you can see, it's going. And we're going to turn our leadstone energy conduits into hardened energy conduits. But that's going to take a little bit more redstone than I have. I'm going to have to go make some redstone the hard way, aren't I? That's okay. That's the next project to fix. Not needing to craft redstone by hand anymore would be a good thing. Capital G. Capital T. Should be able to collect my silver by this point. Nope, still working. Didn't I have another... I could have sworn I had another portable tank. It's also entirely possible I'm blind. Nope, this guy's empty. He also didn't have anything good. Oh, there it is. I am blind. Awesome. Good to have that confirmed. So let's empty that bucket out. Don't need him anymore. Set you down, grab some sand. Oh, we'll just get, I've got 7 buckets, so we'll grab 7 sand. Fill up all 7. And if I'm right, then this will be the last time I need to do this by hand. Holding up and clicking will put things from your inventory into your crafting grid. Holding down and clicking will put things from your hotbar into your crafting grid. There we go. So that gives me another 28 redstone to play with, which is phenomenal. And now I can make those hardened energy conduits, which can transfer up to 400 RF per tick. The leadstones can only transfer 80 RF per tick. So even if I had wanted to, I would not be able to move all of the power that one of these hardened energy cells would be able to produce. Fantastic. And this guy should be filling up now, which will empty out this guy. No problem. Everything is good. Now, I have a whole lot more leadstone energy cells than I really have use for, but I can break these down in the pulverizer to get my redstone and my lead nuggets back. Now, I get 1 redstone and 3 lead nuggets per leadstone energy conduit. And if you remember, it takes 2 lead ingots and 6 redstone to make 6 leadstone energy conduits. So I'm going to get back all of my redstone and all of my lead ingots. I will only lose the glass on making the leadstone energy conduits. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a backup at the pulverizer as it's waiting on this furnace to process through all of this iron before and then it's got to have to produce these aluminum ore berries. So it's going to be a while before I have the room to actually process these leadstone energy conduits. Good thing I have so much else to do in the meantime. Looks like that iron is still processing. No problem. with 32 at 10,000 apiece. Let's do the math here. That's 320,000 LP. At 5 a tick is 64,000 ticks. At 20 ticks a second, 3,200 seconds. About an hour. However, the speed runes will speed that up. So maybe we'll be getting on to what that'll do for me next time. In the meantime, I can... gold, iron. I need iron. There we go. I can start making the fluid transposer I'm going to need. And that's a simple one. And I'm going to make 2 machine frames because I know I'm going to use another one sometime. Reception coil. At least I'm pretty sure I'm using another one, aren't I? Aren't I? I'm not imagining things. What am I missing here? I'm missing copper again. I've been blocking up my copper because it's getting to be just too much. Unfortunately, blocking it turns it into mechanism copper in this pack, because mechanism is lower on the ID chain than the thermal expansion blocks. Alright. This fluid transposer is going to go right here. Input on that side. Output to that side. Now anything I melt in the magma crucible will be tossed in the fluid transposer and be available for use. That's not bad. It's pretty good shape so far. Excellent. So let's grab you, dump you on top of this guy for the time being. I am going to need, in general, a cleaner setup over here. That's going to be a long-term plan. Probably plot one out between episodes. For now, what I would really like to do, now that I have the ability to produce lots of obsidian, and I have the ability, I have an induction smelter going, and I have the ability to produce lots of lead. We're actually going to grab this stuff out, let this process through. And we're going to get our obsidian pulverized. Oh, you're going to take too long. My impatience is winning. Fantastic. Yeah, you take your time. Actually, we can just grab the pulverized iron out of there because I know that I'm going to need some iron to go with this ferrous later, and we can start processing the aluminium dust. All right, so I take my pulverized obsidian in the induction smelter with some lead ingots. I believe it's 4 obsidian? Nope, 8 pulverized obsidian and 1 lead to get 2 hardened glass. Now, the hardened glass is going to do a few things for me. One, it's going to allow me to upgrade my item ducts and fluid ducts to be transparent, which will allow me to see what's flowing through them. I like that. It's fancier. It's not as easy on the system graphically, so if you have trouble with that, you might want to, you know, pay attention, but that's okay. Oh boy. This one dynamo is not able to keep up any longer. That's all right. It's time to move this cyclic assembler anyway. Oh boy. I am lucky that nothing went flying off the edge, actually. Let's get some stuff put... Oh, I don't have nearly enough inventory space anymore. Not by a long shot. Huh. Oh, that's a schematic, right. I have lots of schematics hanging around. So this cyclic assembler can go right on top of... Well, it can go right here for the time being. It's not going to have any power, but I can actually fix the power issue just by moving the... Actually, you have no power in you, so no, I can't fix the power issue that way real quick. But what I can do is use a couple of these leadstone energy conduits to pump some power there temporarily. This guy only uses 1 RF per operation, so once I get it filled up, that'll be 24,000 crafts. Yeah, I really won't need more than that for a while, I don't think. So let's get all of these schematics put back in here. And the clay, and the gravel. And we'll call that good. Yeah, that's good. And now that this is full, we can happily remove these. Actually, we'll put 1 back there. And it's time to grab our other dynamo. which I swear I had in this bag, but oh, I moved it down in my inventory. Hey, for once, at least I wasn't looking for something in the place where it was and not able to see it. No, don't pump like that, you silly machine. Thank you. Actually, we're not going to put that conduit there. We're just going to do that. And we will put the other tank there. Start it going. And we'll grab a lever out of our backpack. Well, our handy-dandy portable bag of holding. Golden bag of holding. That's right. Set this guy to ignored and start that guy pumping. 16,470. All right, good. It is processing. And now we will be generating power a whole lot faster. In fact, we seem to be, now that the magma crucible's full, we're generating power an awful lot faster than we're using it, which is pretty nice. Being able to get a couple of million RF stored in the hardened energy cell will be very useful long term. Okay. So, as each bit of obsidian processes into 4 pulverized obsidian, it's actually going to take 2 stacks of lead to handle 1 stack of obsidian, meaning I am well beyond what I actually need for a while. And I can just give that the time it needs to finish processing. Get you out, put you back in, and burn some aluminium into ingots. Fantastic. Do I have my silver yet? Still no. Alright. I should really research exactly how fast that bit actually helps. I make sense to myself, I promise I do. How fast the speed runes actually make it. I've not looked into that in the detail that it deserves. Take you and you back. Awesome. And make more lead ingots. I have 3 extra lead nuggets at the moment, and I have 3... It's a little odd. Eh, well, came out not quite even. It's not entirely unexpected. Heard an explosion, probably more creeper plant seeds. I need to do something to handle the mob drops that are going into that machine. Far too many are coming out of the monsters, and I don't have enough room for all of them. Alright. What was the next step of this whole process? Plenty of hardened glass at this point. I really need to start getting... Oh, it looks like the silver's done. I lied. That's okay. So, I keep getting distracted because the particle effects don't transmit at that range. What we're going to do at the moment, we're just going to get this guy going. Give it a whack with that, and... as you can see, it is starting to gather LP into this altar as well. Now, the LP going into this one will be very easy to pipe out. For the time being, we can just pipe it into some portable tanks, but in the long run, I'm going to want something better than having it go into a tank and needing to move tanks around manually. And as you can see, it's actually piping out at a decent rate. Thanks to those Ruin of Dislocation. I found that having any more than this for Runes of Dislocation was piping faster than I could actually use, and that wasn't really worth it. Fantastic. Now, it would be very easy for me to upgrade this portable tank in this blood altar, but it would take quite a long time. If you remember, to upgrade the portable tank, you can toss it in... I saw a pumpkin bucket. Wow. Alright, I don't recognize the pumpkin bucket. It only takes 5,000 LP, but that LP happens at 1 LP per tick, which would take quite a long time. 5,000 ticks worth. It'll go a lot faster over in this one, so we'll upgrade it over there later. Alternatively, we could do it the traditional way, by using Invar, which I have an overabundance of. So why not? Put that down, grab some Invar, which upgrades this to Hardened, and then using the Hardened glass I have, I can upgrade it to Reinforced. To upgrade it further is possible, but not at the tech level that I am at. And that's a whole lot faster than trying to get the machine to do it for us. The Blood Altar. Yes. pretty nice, I think. All right, so what's the long-term plan? Well, for one, I want these fluid ducts combined with hardened glass. I think I can combine 3. Nope, it's 6. Okay. I want see-through fluid ducts. It's been too long without them. It takes 1 hardened glass per 6 fluid ducts. And I'm going to need a lot of these, actually. And they can be made with copper and the hardened glass. Just like that. So we're just going to go ahead and make 24 more. Now the ultimate goal is to bring the power from there over to here. And to do that, well, I'm going to want to use the fluid ducts to transport the life essence. I also want to pump life essence into the bottom of this one from the same line. And I think the best way to do that is actually going to be to refill my potion and use that to fly around a bit. Unfortunately, my potion flask is currently completely empty. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of alchemy, and once I am ready to go flying around and set things up, because you guys have seen me refill the potion at this point, it's not interesting. But once I'm ready to set everything up, I shall return. Alrighty, let's talk about a couple of other things I want to get done. For one, I want better crafting. That is going to take the form of the workbench from forestry as soon as I stop derping on the recipe. Work table, I apologize. So the work table functions in a similar manner to the crafting table, except instead of reading from this chest, it will use whatever I put into this chest underneath it, which is going to be a lot more convenient for me in the long run, I feel. Could be wrong. Hope I'm not. But I definitely believe that this is the right way to go with things. Hardened glass, invar, lead. Got my silver also. I don't believe that silver ingots directly have a lot of utility for me. They're used for a couple of Mine Factory Reloaded things, but as well as redstone transmission coils, but the redstone transmission coils are, again, mostly for Mine Factory Reloaded things in this particular pack. The energetic infuser is kind of useful, but not super so, and I could get into, you know, making some power armor if I wanted to, but for the time being, I don't have a ton of use of silver. Later on, I certainly will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half my gold, put it with that half a stack of silver. And nope, the induction smelter will not automatically output into the work table. It was a long shot, I knew, but totally worth trying at least. Get our lead in there. Okay. So fairly satisfied with this. And we are going to make another cyclic assembler. Now, the part about this that I really like, I can't grab that yet because I still need the redstone reception coil, but I can easily shift click that into existence and it will remember this. And now if I shift right click it, it will lock the redstone reception coil and remember it forever. So now, say I do make a cyclic assembler, well, I need it to use that tin gear. And hang on. Oh, I need copper. I don't have any copper in there yet. It's because it's all in block form. Let's fix that. Now, the thing it won't do, actually it will OR dictionary. Never mind. It will happily OR dictionary for you. I'm glad that that got fixed. Now, anytime I want, I can just left click the redstone reception coil and then go back to it. And I can switch back and forth. I can click the book in the center to remove everything. Fantastic. Now, why do I want another cyclic assembler? Well, we will show you. Toss that right there to gain some power. Allow input on the top. And go grab my other portable tank. Running, running, running. This guy is overfull. There we are. If you end up in this situation where you have too much LP in your altar and no need for it to run, you can absolutely apply a redstone signal to this master ritual stone, and this side will stop running entirely. And I can show you that that has, in fact, stopped running by... Huh, I don't have another lever. Alright, you'll just have to take my word for it for the moment. I don't have everything I need on hand to show it to you. And I know. Show, don't tell, but such is life. Alright, we're going to have a cyclic assembler full of life essence. And I'm going to need another blueprint. Yes. How are those schematics made again? I believe it uses a bit of paper and a bit of lapis. No problem. I have plenty of both. Set up a bit of another wart farm over here and mostly cleared out the farming platform because I have some plans, some new things I want to do with this area. Yeah. Which we'll get to in a little while. Well, in another episode, really, but we'll go with in a little while as a pleasant way of putting it. So I'm going to grab a bucket of blood. And going to grab a bit of lapis. And we're going to make a redstone schematic in the cyclic assembler because I want to have... Oh no, I just threw away an entire stack of sand by accident. Oh, that has just been the day I've been having, you know? So we're going to put one sand right there. We're going to put our bucket of life right there. And maybe that... Oh, you know what? It needs to go like that. Yes. And we put our schematic in and check mark. Awesome. So we get our 4 from here. And then we get a whole bunch more. Yeah. So that'll have a stack of redstone for me basically anytime that I want it, at the cost of about 16 sand apiece. It will use up my life essence relatively quickly, but that's okay. I'm going to be providing as much or more than it can use over time. So let's just drain that entire tank for the time being. I am fairly happy with this situation. So, now that I have my electrum, and I have plenty of redstone, and I have my hardened glass, the only thing I'm missing is a diamond. And diamonds, unfortunately, use lots and lots of iron to produce in this pack. Because I believe that the block of iron and gold is the... Yeah, that's pretty much the way to go. But that's okay. Get the pressure up to 4 on 8 blocks of coal. That's something I could investigate. It's not that tough to make coal. Anyway, for the time being, though, 32 iron is not that big of a deal. And we will grab a bit of clay. Long term, I'm not super worried about using this. Recipe. 2, 3, 4, and then diamond. Fantastic. And we're going to use that to make the redstone energy cell frame. Empty, which uses 4 electrum, 4 hardened glass, and the diamond. Oh, helps if I actually put my electrum into there, doesn't it? While we are at it, we are also going to create the redstone energy cell conduits. These can carry up to 10,000 redstone flux per tick and are everything you need to, you know, power the world, as it were. So for that, we're going to make a whole bunch of them, since I've got the materials to do so. And by a whole bunch, I mean 60. That'll be good for now. Now, if I come over here, we can get these filled up. It will take melting redstone in the magma crucible to fill these up. For the frame, it's going to take me 4,000 millibuckets of destabilized redstone. And for the conduits, it is going to take 200 millibuckets each. So for a total of, let me think, that would be 1,200 for 6, so 12,000. So a total of 16,000 millibuckets, or 16 buckets of it. To get my 16 buckets, let me grab my calculator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 17 of the blocks of redstone and 7 redstone dust. That was most easily done with the calculator because I could just, it won't let me right click and drag. So the work table does suffer some inconveniences. 15, 16, 17, and 7. Perfect. So we toss these into the magma crucible, and it takes a little bit of time, whole lot of power. It's using 400 RF per tick, which means that this guy is getting drained an awful lot faster than he's getting filled. And then it dumps that destabilized redstone into the fluid transposer. We're going to need our redstone energy cell frame in that fluid transposer. Once we hit the 4,000 millibuckets in here, we will get our redstone energy cell frame full, which is pretty fantastic. So, almost. What do we need to do to make that frame into the actual energy cell? Well, we need 2 lead ingots, 3 more electrum ingots, and a redstone conductance coil. Just going to use up a good bit of the rest of our redstone, no problem. So that conductance coil is just redstone and electrum. And then we can do like that. And as soon as I have the full frame to toss in there, which will be just another moment, poof. And then I can toss these conduits in there and they can start filling for me. I can drop that in here and grab my redstone energy cell out of it. So we're going to now upgrade our power system before we finish off. I'm going to set the hardened energy cell on top of here for the moment. Or actually, no, we'll do even better than that. We will put our redstone energy conduits here, here, and here. And we'll have this guy set to output on the face of it. And it should be inputting from the top and the back. But it is inputting power faster than it's actually gaining it, so it's emptied out at the moment. To get that, I don't need the glacial precipitator there anymore, I think. So we can scoop that up for now. Stick the hardened energy cell right here. And set this guy to output out the right-hand side. And this will drain 400 RF per tick out of the hardened energy cell and into the redstone energy cell. Fantastic. So if I then can take my hardened energy conduits in the pulverizer, and I'll get my invar and my redstone that went into these back, but I'll lose out on the lead. That's okay. And I can also do the same thing with the hardened energy cell when it's ready. If I show you that, use it. I know that I can, it just doesn't want to show it to me at the moment. Let's see if I can find it in the recipe list. You can break down your glass back into sand if you need to. Which I suppose would not entirely unuseful at the moment. There we go. There's the leadstone energy cell into 8 redstone and 3 lead ingots. And there's the hardened energy cell into 8 redstone and 3 invar ingots. It's not quite as loss resistant as the energy conduits themselves, but you still get a fair bit back. Which, you know, can't argue with that. It's kind of nice. All right, I think that covers all of the energy system upgrades I was planning on doing at the moment. And I think I'm going to keep this crafting station over here for when I have things like this invar that I want to just quickly drag over all of the spots without needing to do any extra work. That's going to be for the best, I think. And I just took a look at the recording time. We are actually well over the limit. So I will have to wrap up here. And I will get all of my alchemy done between now and next time so that I'm ready to run the actual lines from the altar over to here. Back, and yeah, everything will be good. So thank you very much for joining me. Sorry for the disjointed nature of this episode. I don't know if I have a bit of a head cold going on or what's up, but I'm just a little bit out of it today. So thanks for bearing with me. See you next time, folks.